Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Thursday, July 19th, 2018. And today, in our Tech News Update, we are talking about Windows 10 that is about to get much more precise in its time management. It now will introduce in a future update of Redstone 5 time precision controls that will make sure your PC is always at the exact to the second time on the clock. And it's going to add support for leap seconds, these little seconds that are added every here and there to make sure that, Earth's time is synchronized. So this is interesting for some because some people might need precise time. It will be interesting for me because I do have some applications that require very precise time on the PC. And, well, I think this should have been like in Windows 95, but anyways, it's coming to Windows 10. Huawei has reached 100 million devices sold, and they announced that on July 18th yesterday. And they say that they want to reach the goal of selling 200 million smartphones by the end of the year. And you know what? These are pretty big numbers, and it shows that Huawei is really serious to become a major player in the smartphone market. There were a lot of reports also. I did see a few reports of reviews of some of these latest phones where a lot of people were pretty amazed at what these cheaper phones are actually, how powerful they are and what they can do. Well, leading tech leaders have promised that they will use artificial intelligence for good and only for good, and not using it for weapons or anything that could be bad. We are more and more getting closer to computers that can almost think by themselves, and in the next decade or so we'll have really powerful machine learning and artificial intelligence. So a lot of experts are scared of the consequence and whatever could happen, including, of course, when we talk about AI and machine learning, we kind of always match it with Terminators. Facebook is actually taking down and even banning users that propagate misinformation that might lead to violence or physical harm. They want to keep the social media site as clean as good as possible, but there's a lot of critics because there's some information out there in some pages that are to the limit of what is acceptable. And Facebook is getting a little bit of, backlash because of this. And they're kind of trying to fight it and say, well, we're keeping this or that for this or that reason. But, kind of interesting debate here. Intel is celebrating 50 years today. Yep, July 19th, 1968. Intel was created, and of course there's very few companies that have reached what the chip maker has achieved in making itself pretty much synonymous to the heart and the brains of our PCs and our devices everywhere. As this celebration is going on, Intel did say that Moore's Law is pretty much dead. Moore's Law saying that every 2 years the number of transistors in a processor doubles. Well, we're pretty much at the end. Intel says we can't do this anymore. That's no possibility, as we have reached pretty much the limits of what physics can actually let us do right now. So this is going to be interesting to see how the future goes, and what will Intel look like when it reaches 100. Well, one of the most feared things of pretty much every smartphone maker, and I did get that big scare last week when I dropped my Galaxy S9 Plus phone on the floor without a case, and it was fine except for a little scratch. But we're always scared of breaking the screen, and this is one of the big problems. Well, Corning's new Gorilla Glass 6 will be so strong that they say you might be able to drop your phone up to 15 times on a hard surface before the structure of the screen gets too weak to protect it. Now, that's good news, as we all, I don't think no one never drop this phone. We all do drop it at least once by the time we own it, and this is good news. And I'm waiting for a phone that you can honestly use without any protection and not fear that it will break down or crack or have problems if you drop it on a hard surface. Starting February 2019, Microsoft will stop sending out what we are calling Delta updates. Delta updates are different than the regular updates of Windows right now, because these updates account for much bigger file sizes. Because if they update a module, for example, let's say they update Microsoft Edge browser, what's going to happen is that they will contain the full Microsoft Edge browser and update it. Now, they don't want that because they want to have regular updates and more component updates, meaning the updates after February 2019 will only update the files required for an update to a so say Microsoft Edge needs an update, it won't update everything. It will update only the files required to update. So that's a good news because it will make the updates smaller. Walmart is apparently working on releasing a video streaming website, and they want to compete with Netflix and Amazon on the streaming market. This is going to be quite interesting competition, and we're getting more and more of streaming services, and all of that is right now. And there was a talk today on one of the news items that I've seen about a lot of investors being a little kind of scared of the fact that Netflix might have reached kind of the maximum that it can be as a company because of the competition that now is eating up on the streaming market. So anyways, we're going to see. There's no date yet. It's going to be interesting to see what they have to offer. And finally, Samsung is going to launch a Bixby smart speaker, apparently, that will cost around $300. Maybe, maybe they should fix Bixby before doing that. But at least they're doing something. And even though the Bixby assistant is rather poor, we'll see what that brings. And of course, it will have a lot of connectivity with Samsung products. And since they are a market leader, maybe they'll be able to pull it off somehow. And this was a Tech News Update for Thursday, July 19, 2018. Today, special midsummer live shows. Hope you will be able to join us here on the Windows and Computer channel. Special midsummer tech show at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1900 hours Universal Time. And on the Insider channel, a special midsummer Windows Insider hour at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, or 2100 hours Universal Time. Hope that you will be able to join us live today. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.